Etsy News, your one-stop shop for everything that's been happening in Etsy over the past week. And boy, has there been a lot this week. Etsy has really pushed the boat out with changes. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. First thing we are seeing is there's a new policy violations page in the shop manager. I think this is rolled out to most people now. So the idea is bringing everything to one place to make it easier to see which listings have been actioned and learn more about our policies. So if you have listings taken down due to a policy violation, they will show up in this section. You'll see it on the left-hand side menu from your Etsy dashboard. We're gradually rolling out listing appeals. So I think this is a good step forward. It's a very late step forward, if we're perfectly honest. Josh Silverman did say last year, maybe a couple of years ago, that to remove a lot of the things that don't belong on Etsy, they were up in their game in taking listings down. And what they were going to be doing with that was they knew things like if something was selling in a cheap rip-off marketplace and also on Etsy, they were going to make the assumption that Etsy was buying it from the cheap marketplace, so these weren't things that are allowed, and they were going to take the listing down, knowing full well that sometimes it goes the other way. People on these cheap knockoff sites are stealing from Etsy sellers, so sometimes they would be taking things down in error, and they expected the seller to appeal, but there was no easy way to appeal. So they're now rolling out listing appeals. I think that it's a good thing. Let me not tell Etsy off for doing a good thing. Good. Um, so that's going to be being rolled out, but the policy violation page will be there. Um, it was sold to us by Etsy as saying this page you're going to see what more transparent, you're going to see what rules you broke or whatever, but we get a sneak peek at it and some people have seen it. You can I forgot I put this screen up. So in your shop manager dashboard, you'll see the policy violations page here and find out which of your listings aren't following our policies and learn how it may affect your shop. So it's going to have some tabs along there: the listing, the policy, the listing's violated, the status of that listing, and the appeal status. So currently appeals are not available, but they're moving out. So I assume to appeal you just have to chat with Etsy and say at home. But anyway, so here is a zoomed in part of this if a listing was removed. So our team removed this listing. It was reported to us or flagged by our internal system. Now, why doesn't this meet our creativity standard? Sorry, this is blurry, just screenshots. I thought it would give much better details as to why, but it really doesn't. It just says, look at this help article. Which is annoying. And here's what you can do next. Update any similar listings to make sure they're following our creativity standard. Keep in mind, if your shop has multiple policy violations, we may remove your star seller badge or suspend your account. Appeals aren't available yet. So that's the tool. I think it's an improvement, but we need to know, why doesn't this meet our creativity standard? We need a little bit better than look at the help article. To just tell us why stuff's been taken down. Anyway, on to the next change. So there's a writing assistant beta. I haven't seen this yet. It seems reasonable. People that Jessica from eRank seen it, and she shared some examples in the eRank live on Thursday if you want to see any of that. But it's AI generated suggestions, drafts that you can edit or not use, basically, and they use your relevant information. They look at your past messages, your listings and things, so it can pull up answers. If someone says, does this come in green, hopefully it'll be able to say, yes, this does come in green. And if you talk very formally, it'll answer formally. If you talk informally, it'll sound a little bit like you. So yeah, I don't hate this. I realize some people don't enjoy AI. honestly like a writing assistant. This just feels a bit like Grammarly or something. That this kind of thing's been around for ages. So yeah, if it works, I don't hate it, but let me know what you think. And we're also getting, this is coming, I haven't seen this yet, but I think it's nice in your messages, in your message thread. If you've been talking to your buyer, you're going to get little alerts coming in at different stages in the journey. So here's this, that what the person said happened was they'd had the conversation with the buyer, that was all fine. And when the tracking had updated to delivered, it looked like they'd got a message, but when they went and looked, it was a note from Etsy basically saying the order was delivered, a link to view the tracking. That means you can jump into your customer and say, if this is something that you generally reach out to them about, here you go. They've told you the order's delivered, so you can message and go, hey, I see that you got the item. I hope you love it. If there's anything I can help you with, blah, blah, blah. Here's how you can leave a review if you're delighted, kind of thing. The Etsy community is changing, so this will be interesting. Refreshed forums, new way to engage, react to content, earn badges. Seriously, are we 6? Do we need to earn badges? Badges and recognition, and quickly discover conversations by topic. Now, improving the forums is not a bad thing at all. The forums have been bad for quite a while. They used to be much better, and people have been complaining about them. As far as I can see, if I remember correctly, they said they're going to take down the forums for a little while they're relaunching them, while they're refreshing them. Cynical in me says, are they going to be taking them down while they're launching something new or changing something that we don't like? Don't know. A new homepage. This is a community homepage highlighting the latest announcements and trending discussions right when you log in. Yeah, I don't care about that a whole lot. I usually skip those kind of things. Trending discussions. AI powered search. Etsy's putting AI everywhere it can that pulls up the most relevant community discussions and resources, including seller handbook and help center content all in one place. Now, that could be handy if someone's asking something in a discussion and the AI is able to pull up the right help center article. I'm all for that. I'm not hopeful, but I'm all for that. Insights and Education Hub with resources, tips, event replays, and event success content, plus the ability to RSVP and add events directly to your calendar. Yeah, the RSVPs, hey, if it works for you, Etsy, but at the end of the day, the events are on their YouTube channel. You don't need to RSVP. It could be handy to put it onto your calendar. It saves it to my entirely wrong calendar, so it's no help. Upgraded Teams. Now, this is interesting because Teams used to be great and they've been rubbish. I thought they were getting rid of them, but now redesigned to be more functional and collaborative with category-based, location-based, and topic-based groups to join or start your own. So, yeah, that sounds good, and there will be an event, a full walkthrough happening in a few weeks. So if you're interested, you can join that. I will try and remember and join it. But yeah, the new community. Now, those of you that haven't been on Etsy that long will just be like, I don't care. I'm not interested in the Etsy community. And that's fair. The Etsy community has been rubbish lately. But I'm not only am I old, I'm old on Etsy, and the community used to be great. It used to be a good community. Everyone who started in the early days, we hung out in that community. That you would talk to people, you would learn things, you would make friends, especially the teams you were in. I was in Makitsi, that was the Scottish team. I was also in the needle felting team, the team about animals, local Glasgow team, and it was good. You had a community that was supportive and helpful, and there was even events and stuff. And Etsy actually even funded some events, or if you had a crafts show, they would send out like banners and things to help make it feel more Etsy, which, yeah, I know some people might think that's not good, but it was cool. Anyway, so that's what Etsy's doing there. Here's a biggie. Etsy's bringing out a new tool, the Marketplace Insights powered by Etsy data. Now, this is literally a keyword tool, but it's powered by Etsy's actual data, its search volumes and things like that. So, as they say, choose the best keyword. So, it's a keyword tool, Etsy. You just didn't want to say that. Marketplace Insights, plan inventory with confidence, all based on Etsy real search data. Now, here's the bit that's going to make you angry, probably. Every seller gets 15 free keyword searches per week. And for those that want even more, you can unlock unlimited access with an Etsy Plus subscription. The tool will roll out to all sellers over the coming weeks, so jump in and start exploring as soon as it's in your shop manager. Now, I've had a sneak peek of this, so I will be making a video in the next couple of days on how to use this, avoid the mistakes. So if you don't want to get an Etsy Plus subscription, which I totally understand, how to make the most of those 15 free keyword searches a week. And here's one quick look at it, what it's going to look like. So you've got, like any keyword tool, you type in search details, put in your keyword, and then it gives you ideas of the searches and how much competition there is there, although Etsy's calling it marketplace supply and buyer demand. But here's what you're getting. It looks like 30 days of data. Don't know that I assume that's global for the whole of Etsy or potentially just for your country, but we'll find out. But yeah, if you're interested, check out my video in a couple of days. And a silly, interesting one. While all this was going on, Etsy didn't announce it, but they've snuck out a new logo. So on the left is the Etsy logo that we're used to seeing, and on the right is the one they've changed it to. Now, they're blurry because screenshots. With any logo change, that usually involves a whole lot of money and hiring clever people to do it. But seriously, I hadn't noticed. I've had Sophie from eRank spotted it first, and I've had a few people message me about it. But really, is that worth the effort? It just looks a little bit more condensed and upright, whereas the old one seemed to lay back and relax a little bit. It seems a little more formal. Quick look, the E and the T and the S are pretty. It's mainly the Y that's changed, hasn't it? Slightly. Yeah, that bet that was worth the money, Etsy. Anyway, oh yeah, there's me thinking we're finished. Yeah, there has been a lot of people saying since the new listing title AI generator, since this, since that, is it quiet on Etsy? So I checked on eRank, the sites tool that shows you the reach of a website, and this is looking in the USA. It's the same for everywhere, pretty much. I looked. So this is how Etsy is looking just now. And is it quiet? Yes, it's quieter than it's been in several months. Kind of normal at this time of the year. And before you freak out and say Etsy's broken something, I did the same search for eBay and Amazon, and you'd be hard pressed to see any difference in the graphs. They were rising a bit through the summer, and now it's fallen off a cliff. So this is the slow period while people are perhaps window shopping a little bit, but they're not buying so much just now. They're getting the kids ready for school. They're doing all the Halloween fall things, and they'll start coming back soon, we hope. Anyway, that's everything I've spotted for the week. Let me know what you've seen and what you think, and if I've missed anything. And if I'm dumb, I'm sure you'll let me know. But anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.